Hello, this is Gabby Ray, talker, and I recently heard the disturbing news that Bobbie Kristina's friend Steven Stepho was found dead this week, on Monday, June 29th. This is the same friend that came out and did a Radar Online interview about how he perceived the character of Nick Gordon and Pat Houston. He stated that Pat Houston is the one person that really showed that she cared about Bobbie Kristina and tried to help her with her career, and he said that Pat and her husband Gary are good people. On the other hand, he said that Nick wanted Bobbie Kristina for her money and continued to ask for more and more. He stated that the Houstons did not like Nick, who tried to get Bobbie Kristina to turn against her own family. So it could just be him, Nick Gordon, and her, against the world. Also, this friend Steven gave details of the drug use with Bobbie Kristina and Nick. He stated that he helped them get drugs sometimes and clarified that he no longer was helping them get drugs, which was his past. He explained that the drug use with Bobbie Kristina and Nick was really extensive and worse than Whitney Houston's drug use. So at the time, back in March 2015, I did a video on Steven entitled Bobbie Kristina Friend Tells It All and Says Nick Is No Good and Defends Aunt Pat. So after I posted the video, someone came on my YouTube page approximately in April and posted hateful messages about it, but I cannot confirm the identity of the person, and that person posted very angry messages about it. The person went crazy with anger, messaging the video with all types of swearing and profanities, and this person went crazy about this video. It was so bad that I had to delete the abusive comments and ban this person from commenting on my videos. Then a message was sent from another account and told me that I better be careful because Nick Gordon is part of the mafia. Wait a minute here. I am not intimidated by your threats. My Bible tells me to be careful for nothing. There's a God that protects me, so your threats means nothing here. And another thing that I believe is that the measure that you mete unto others will be met unto you, and in layman's terms, what goes around will come around. If you are putting out dirt and doing people dirty, I do believe that dirt will come back to you. And on that note, I do believe that someone is responsible for the recent death of Steven Stepho, who first came on the scene and could have served as character witness of Nick Gordon in a court of law. And I really do not believe that the death of Steven Stepho was an accidental overdose. How convenient is this for Nick's defense, for Steven to have a drug overdose right before the district attorney's investigation and pending court case against Nick? Like really? Like I am really supposed to believe that Steven Stepho had an accidental drug overdose, all of a sudden? If you ask me, I truly do not believe that the death of Steven Stepho was an accidental drug overdose. I do believe someone deliberately forced a drug overdose upon him, considering the March video that I posted, featuring Steven and the crazy messages that someone posted on it, back in April. I believe that those crazy messages reflected on someone's deliberate actions against Steven that cost him his life. It makes no sense. According to Radar Online, when Steven came out, he mentioned that he was living a new life, and his old drug life was a thing of the past. He stated that he had a great job and a baby on the way and did not want people to think he was still that same person. He stated that he made mistakes and paid his dues for it, and now after he speaks out against Nick Gordon, he pops up dead? Something has to be done about this. So this means the people that come out and speaks against Nick Gordon will all of a sudden pop up dead somehow, like with a drug overdose? The situation seems to be getting out of control and something really needs to be done, and this is my belief and I am entitled to my belief, and I believe that Steven Stepho was murdered because he spoke out against Nick Gordon. It was stated on Radar Online that Steven died from a drug overdose, but if this is the case, I believe that someone deliberately forced an overdose upon him to protect Nick Gordon. In my previous video of Steven, it only showed half of his statements. However, in this video I will show Steven's full statements of everything concerning Bobbie Kristina, and hopefully the Radar Online video can be used in a court of law. Here is Steven Stepho's full video.
Chrissy and Nick got into drugs quite heavily.
Yeah, a lot worse when their mom passed away. I mean, they did do some before their mom passed away, but it got really bad when their mom passed away.
And what sort of drugs would they take?
Roxy's, heroin, Xanax, weed, mainly opioids.
And do you know how much they would spend on their drugs?
I mean, it would vary. I mean, some days it'd be $200-300. Some days it'd be $400-600. Some days it'd be $1,000. It just however much money they had that day, or how messed up they felt like getting.
And how messed up would they get?
I mean, knocked out on the bed, passing out. I mean, there was times where they burned themselves with a cigarette and wouldn't even notice. They were that fucked up.
What do you think happened on the day she was found unconscious in the bathtub?
Honestly, I think she either overdosed.
On what drug?
Probably heroin.
And how would she have taken it?
Snorting it. And maybe if she was on heroin, maybe Xanax. That's the only thing I could see. Or somebody tried to hurt her, because...
and they're drugs you've seen her take in the past?
Yes. And, I mean, she took Xanax for anxiety to go to sleep. After her mom passed away, she couldn't sleep at night. And, you know, she got really depressed, really miserable, and she really used the drugs to get away from everything.
And so then she could have either OD'd on the morning?
Yeah, I mean, she could have mixed... a lot of kids around here have passed away mixing Xanax with heroin. I mean, it's a deadly combination. You're mixing something that already slows you down and slows your heart rate down on top of Xanax, which is basically, I mean, it's like anesthesia almost. Anesthesia's in the same drug category as Xanax. It knocks you out. It makes you pass out. They don't really like Nick. They think that he's a bad influence, and he doesn't really respect them. That's the problem. You know, Pat cares about Chrissy so much. The last time I saw her, I actually went to their house, and she was sitting there just making sure Chrissy was doing stuff with her career and was doing okay, and she constantly sent family members over, came over herself to check up on Chrissy, make sure Chrissy was doing okay, cook them food, help them clean their house. Pat really cared about Chrissy. She did everything she could for Chrissy. She loved Chrissy. That was, you know, it was almost as if Whitney had told Pat to look after her and take care of her if anything ever happened to her. That's what she was doing. And she didn't like Nick because Nick was interfering with that. Nick constantly wanted more of everything, more, you know, especially money. He kept asking her for more money and more money and more money, and Pat...
Who would he ask? Who'd ask Pat?
Yeah, and you know, she was trying to make sure that Chrissy was set for the rest of her life. That she had that money when she was older, when she was able to make proper decisions and wasn't spending all the money on drugs and stuff like that. You know, she didn't want Nick to blow through all her money. She didn't want, you know, that money was supposed to be for Chrissy's future. So Chrissy didn't, you know, so she had money because, I mean, she's had everything paid for her entire life. You're used to that type of lifestyle, you know. You get it. I'm not saying that she's spoiled or anything, but she's used to that kind of lifestyle. And I mean, I don't see her going to get a regular job or something like that. That was money that was supposed to be for her, so she can eat and live and have the things she wants. But her mom left her. That was for her. Nick wasn't in the will, and you know, I feel like just of the situation, he just took, you know, when Whitney died, he saw his money going away and he took advantage of the situation, and that's why he got into the relationship with Chrissy and tried to get her so close and attached, because he wanted the money, you know. And Pat tried to make sure that Chrissy wasn't doing drugs and Chrissy wasn't going to do anything to happen what happened now. You know, she didn't want that to happen. She was trying to prevent that to happen all she could. And I mean, that's why she got the restraining order on Nick, because, I mean, you see what he did with me. He's sitting there posting threats and guns on Twitter, she saw that. She was in fear for her life and her daughter's life and her husband's life. And, you know, they're great people. Pat, Gary, their entire, I met all of them, and they're great people. They really care about Chrissy and not the money. They really wanted what was best for her. And it just, they saw that it was interfering with her, and they told her countless times, especially their grandmother too. They told her countless times that he's no good. You know, he's not the guy for you. And you gotta think, it's been hard for her with relationships, and she felt like he really cared about her and really loved her, because she's known him for so long. You know, you wouldn't think that somebody like that would be after the money and would do, and it breaks my heart.
Do you think she was almost brainwashed by him or deluded by him?
Definitely, without a doubt. He constantly was feeding her thoughts that Pat was out to get the money, Pat was out to get her, Pat didn't like her, you know, constantly making her go against her family. And she didn't, at her heart, she didn't want to do that, because she knows her aunt and her family care about her greatly. And it sucks that he took advantage of that, and, you know, took advantage of her desire to just, because Pat and all them, they can't be there for her every day and be there for her emotionally like a boyfriend could, or, you know. So he took advantage of that and saying that, you know, it was them against the world.
This is Gabby Ray Talker. Come check out my other videos. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube video. Come follow me on Twitter and Instagram too. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.